topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from top local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to experts in family law, association law, hearing loss, business brokers, home care, along with many other topics. Now here are your hosts, Steve-O and Sophia.
And we are back. Welcome, Dallas. Welcome to another Ask the Expert show, where we bring you the top experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. This is the last Wednesday of the month, and that means Dr. Daniela Gamboa with Elite Care Clinic. Good afternoon, Dr. Gamboa.
Hey, Steve. How are you? Thanks for
I'm good. So well, first of all, Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year. It's almost February, but yes.
And I told Dr. Gamboa that we've got a surprise for her. This is our 15th year with Ask the Experts, and I have never had this happen before. My assistant came in and she said, "Do you know that Dr. Gamboa's show, we've had 15, now it doesn't maybe not sound like a lot to you, but for the 15 people to write in, that's pretty amazing." She said, "We've had 15 emails just asking when Dr. Gamboa's next show is." That is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yes, I mean, I cannot even imagine, like, it's like, what? Like, so many emails, like, asking, like, and that's awesome.
They love the show. And one of them actually said, which they've told me before, that they called up and right now you're trying to expand your practice. So, and thank you, Dr. Gamboa. You want to spend as much time as you can with each patient. So for right now, Dr. Gamboa doesn't have an opening, but as soon as she does, we're going to let everybody know. But Dr. Gamboa, that is amazing. 15 people to write wondering when your next show was.
Yes, thank you. That's amazing. And you know what I love about this is to inform people, educate how they can improve their quality of life, like how can we make better decisions in our health. And also, like, the most important thing is prevention. It's amazing how, like, the hormones, all the healthy eating habits, the exercise, everything can decrease the risk for chronic diseases, decrease our risk for, like, be taking medications, and help our quality of life at the end.
Well, I know you were busy with patients today, and I don't want to get political, but I listened to the Senate hearings today with Robert Kennedy. And, he's hopefully going to be the next Secretary of Health. And wow, I got to tell you, a lot of things he says sounds like they're conspiracy, but then we find out like 6 months or a year later that it was true, the things that he was saying. And he wants to make life, especially for children, healthier.
Yeah, I think that it starts from there. If we have a good foundation, if we also it goes to the schools and everything. Like, I think all the food in the schools has to improve. Like, all this, like, additives. I'm with that. All the synthetic foods, all this other stuff. Like, they need to take out all the processed things. They have to, or find a way to make it healthier. Because that is the thing. Like, if we teach our kids to not be drinking all the sodas or drinking all this sugary drinks from an early age, and we teach them the healthy choices, then I think that later on in life they're going to be much, much better. But I agree with all the synthetic products and additives. I would love for them to like remove them from food and make processed food like healthier and less like toxic for our bodies, you know.
Well, one of the things that he said was just blew my mind. He said, if you take some of the same food manufacturers, and he used some of the cereal people, and he said, the same company, what they produce, what's in the ingredients in other countries are less than what we have in our foods here. And that blew me away.
You know, and also like this goes with many things or ingredients that are banned in Europe, they're still okay in the US. And that goes for many things in foods, in pastries and things like that. So how can that be possible, you know? And that's the thing that we have to teach our from the younger generations to eat healthier. And again, like all these um, companies that they make the food for us to help us and to not put like toxic stuff in there, synthetic stuff, and then help us to make it healthier. So we all are better, and then we don't develop all these chronic diseases, you know. So that I think it's huge, and it would be great.
Well, before we get started, tell people about your practice.
You know, Steve, my practice is like I'm trained for originally with family medicine, but later on I got more interested in more the functional, the hormone replacement wellness. So I do a lot of that hormone replacement, weight loss. I'm diplomat from the American Board of Obesity Medicine, and I try to improve people's quality of life and health, like looking at everything, not only like with a tunnel vision with only one problem. So I try to like put everything together and try to help you in many ways I can.
Tell me, because the word functional medicine is becoming more popular. What is functional medicine?
As it says its name, you know, functional, we look at the functions of your body, you know, like so we look at like how your gut works. So that's why it's so important, like the leaky gut, like not many people heard about it, you know, like so what is it important? How does your gut work? Like the bacteria in our gut, it's so important. And now we are doing more and more research on that. Even like new treatments for depression are going to be geared toward there because we find that 90% of our serotonin, the happy hormone, is made in our gut. So then functional again, it means like all your body, how it functions in harmony, like all the like different functions in your body. So everything, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. We don't see like only your heart, okay? Yes, like the traditional medicine is cardiologist, nephrologist, and every one of us like doing it. But a lot of the times we don't put the puzzle together, you know. So we definitely have to look at the whole system. Immune system is so important. So everything is more like a function. Like that's mostly like what we try to put everything like working in harmony and working
Dr.
properly.
Gamboa, do you, with functional medicine, do you see yourself getting patients that other doctors have thrown their hands up and they go, we don't know what's wrong with you. And they come to you as a last resort.
You know, and not only like and like I don't know what else to do with you, but like for example, just to give you like an easy example here is like many people with thyroid issues, you know, they have been going on with their endocrinologists, with their like primary care doctors, and they are on the synthetic levothyroxine, you know, or other the brand name Synthroid. I mean, those are very good medications for patients that respond very well to them, but people that they don't respond well to them, they still having a lot of symptoms that are very uh, typical from hypothyroidism whenever your thyroid doesn't work well. However, they continue to be in that because the labs, the initial labs, they show, oh, but you're okay. But then the patient feels horrible, you know, and then the patient gets frustrated because it's like, oh my gosh, like they say everything is okay, but I think it's my thyroid. I don't feel good. My hair is falling. My hair is dry. Um, my skin is dry and all these other things, and I don't have energy. And so then we switch them to a natural thyroid medication that has T4, T3, both of the hormones that we need, especially the T3, that's the biologically active, and they get much better. Their energy is better, everything is better. So like with anything, like not everything is going to be better for everyone, and the opposite can happen too. Sometimes I start the patients on natural thyroid and they're not able to tolerate it, like they may have some palpitations or they may give them like headache or and they cannot tolerate it, but usually this is what happens.
Hormones are very important, aren't they?
Oh my gosh, they are so important. And then I was recently like in the by in your neck of the woods, Steve. I was in Florida, in Orlando, and last weekend, not this past one, but the previous one, I was in a very interesting conference. It was testosterone, sexual health, and it was given by one of the gurus in testosterone. Dr. Morgan Taylor is one of the pioneers with the testosterone replacement. He's a Harvard professor. Then it was Dr. Mohit Khera. He's like a past president of the American Urology Association. He works at Baylor in Houston. So Dr. Krish, like, so all these doctors that they were great. Dr. Rubin, she's very vocal. She's a urologist in DC, and she's very vocal in social media, talking about how important are the hormones for helping females to avoid getting urinary tract infections, how important is the vaginal estrogen, how important is testosterone replacements. Like testosterone is amazing for men, for women, all the benefits. It'd be great. Like I was like just reading not long ago, like this article about how testosterone can decrease your risk for metabolic syndrome. If we decrease the risk for metabolic syndrome, we decrease your risk for pre-diabetes, decrease the risk for diabetes. People that they have diabetes, testosterone replacement can increase the risk for remission. So improvements at all over, muscle mass, lean mass. So it's great.
We just got a text. Hola, Dr. Gimboa. I
Oh
love
yeah,
your shows. I'm one of the people Steve O was talking about who wrote wanting when your
thank
next show
you.
was. I'm 68 years old and I have trouble sleeping and losing weight. Could that be hormone related?
Yes, usually like the trouble sleeping can be multifactorial, but like, are you a female or a male? Steve, is there like male or female?
She's
Because
a
like
female.
female, okay, for sure, like more the testosterone can affect females like a little bit more than in men, like the sleeping pattern. So whenever your testosterone levels are also low, like you tend to wake up several times a night, you are not able to sleep well. But also we have to think about the if you're snoring, do you have a history of snoring? We have to think about obstructive sleep apnea. So we have to think about all these other things. Try like simple things like sleep, healthy sleep hygiene, for example. Go to sleep almost at the same time. Take some melatonin along with magnesium. Magnesium works great. What kind of magnesium you're gonna say? Like there are so many. So the best ones for like help you sleep or relax is the magnesium glycinate. So try doing that magnesium, like melatonin, and take them together. Probably if you go to sleep around 9:30, take them around 9. And then whenever you're feeling a little sleepy, dim the lights. Try not to have any kind of like distraction for your brain. No reading, no cell phones, no blue light, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Just read. That's because we're really bad with technology. And then we have to like train your brain to go to sleep at the same time. If basic things are not working and you're already having a good sleep hygiene, then definitely we have to check your hormones, and especially again like your testosterone levels, even your estrogen, everything like goes plays a part. And progesterone is awesome for helping you sleep and to decreasing your anxiety, the irritability that helps tremendously.
It's really funny. I was just getting to bring up about the what we call the skinny injection now, but I've
Oh
just
yeah.
got I just got a text, just kind of sad. This is a male, Plano, Texas, Ron. I'm really enjoying the show. I actually was one of the people who called your office to make an appointment. I have been way overweight. He spelled it Weighc. I've been way overweight for
Oh,
10 years now, and it's caused all kind of health issues.
for
I
sure.
know if I don't take care of this problem that I could lose my life. I want to know, I do not have diabetes, and from what I understand, that these injections, you have to have diabetes to get them. Is there a way, even though your practice is closed right now, to get this injection started? That's a good question.
Yes. So this is the it's a complicated answer, but I'll simplify it. So if you have insurance, then the the only way, yes, you're going to get the injections called Wegovy or Zepbound. Those are only FDA approved for uh, obesity. Then it's only if they are covered. If you have diabetes, you can have, as you said, like you don't have diabetes, so you don't qualify for the Monjaro or the Ozempic. However, if you also have a sleep apnea, now it was recently approved the Zepbound for obstructive sleep apnea. So that we can try to do through that route to help you if your insurance doesn't cover the obesity medications. If there's nothing, you don't have no coverage and or anything, then the last resource that I offer my patients is probably to start with compounded medications. I know there are a lot of doctors that they are, especially the Endocrine Society and all this, they are not uh, endorsing or they don't like to recommend this because they say that, oh, like we don't know the safety and everything, right? But you have to know that this compounded medications are made by compounding pharmacies that are heavily monitored by the FDA. The FDA also like monitors their sources, where do they get the products from, the materials, and then also they have to be well certified by the FDA in order for them to produce the compounded. They have to pass all this sterility tests and things like that to make sure that the product that we are providing the patient is safe. So they work pretty good, the compounded medications. The only downside is they don't come in an auto injector, but they come in like little insulin syringes, and we can start you on those to help you to start your weight loss journey. But and also, this is a healthy lifestyle. I always tell the patients, don't think that you're going to be on a diet, because take that out of your mind, because a lot
Right.
of people, they think, oh man, I'm going to be with water and lettuce, but that's not how it is. I always try to find, we always have to find the healthier versions of what you normally eat. And we have to also concentrate on quality, not quantity. So make sure that you have plenty of protein, smaller portions, and also like little tricks like the macro staggering. What does this mean? It means that if you have your plate, always start first by eating your protein. So start by your protein, your meat, like your poultry, everything that is protein, and then go to your carbs. So in this way, you're not going to have that huge spike of like insulin that later on that causes the insulin resistance and more problems. So those are little tricks that I teach my patients, to help with their journey. And also, again, I'm big on protein and quality versus quantity. And again, like we can help you like find like uh, uh, an office visit if you want to send your information to Steve, like, and then he can like provide me that information. Then I can see like if I can help you find one office visit like sooner.
Dr. Gamboa, when you get a new patient, you always do a history and physical on them. And I wanted to kind of save this question for the last. Um, I'm a weird person. Though I went to college, I was in a fraternity in Austin. Uh, I never have touched a drink. I have never smoked. I've never done drugs. And I look at people that are passing away in their late 50s, early 60s, uh, late 60s. Does that have anything to do with the length of my life that I've really, besides kidney problems, but I mean, I'm older, but I've never drank. Do you ever see that with people who don't drink or have done drugs or smoke, that they seem to live longer or they're healthier when they get older?
Well, like also it will depend, like see, like on that question, because what happens is, yes, you didn't drink, you didn't do that. Unfortunately, now that you develop later on like obesity, and that by itself it increase your risk significantly for so many things, you know. So yes, you may have not have this other risks, but with obesity by itself, that increases your risk for diabetes, or even if you have diabetes, the diabetes has like so many risks already with the damaging of your blood vessels, damaging of like the heart, your eyes, your kidneys. So like, yes, you avoided all these risks, but now we're dealing with a different kind of risk that you have because of like the obesity. And then we know like the fatty tissue is very inflammatory because a lot of like inflammation markers. And nowadays we also know that the obesity by itself is a risk factor for different cancers, you know. So let's say if you avoided alcohol, that by itself also causes cancers, but then you have the fatty tissue that is causing the inflammation, then at the end it's going to be a similar kind of risk because yes, you didn't do this, but now you have this, so you still have the risk, you know. So like
Right.
that's what you have to make sure that. And I am really happy for you that you're in the injections and that you're going to continue to lose weight because that's going to decrease the risk for so many things.
You know, you get patients that come to see you and they're always tired. They have no energy. You, uh, one of your treatments you do is the pellet. Can you explain that to people?
Sure. So like pellets, like first I'm gonna like tell you like whenever they come with fatigue. Of course we have to see other possibilities of fatigue because like we don't cannot just assume it's your hormones. You know, we have to make sure you're not anemic. Your
Right.
thyroid is doing well, you know, so you're sleeping okay, you don't have sleep apnea. So whenever we rule out all the other ones and then yes, like everything is fine, but your hormones are low, then definitely we talk about the replacement. So like pellets are um, bioidentical hormones. So bioidentical means that the structure of the hormone is chemically identical to our own. So your body is not going to recognize them as foreign, and it's going to like use them as it belongs to them. So, and where do we get this from? It's from the yam. So that's why it's like very natural and it's pretty good, you know. So the plant of the yam has the same chemical structure than our hormones. So we extract it, we make it in a powder, and then we compress it and we make these pellets. The pellets are the size of like a tic tac. Those are also compounded, you know, like and depending on your weight, depending on your levels, then we calculate it and then we give you the dose. If you're in menopause, then you get estrogen and testosterone in a pellet in the different pellets, and then you have to take progesterone. And why progesterone? Because we always have to counteract the effects of the estrogen. You know, so the estrogen, think like this: the estrogen is like the gas pedal, and the progesterone is like the brakes. So we always have to have those two to like balance our hormones. And then for the guys it's different. For the guys, like yes, I also calculate depending on their weight and then their on their age and their levels. And then we introduce way more pellets than we do for females because number one, for females, each treatment lasts between 10 to 12 weeks. And for guys, we do it like around 20 weeks or 24 at the most, but it's usually 20 weeks. So like we put more quantity on the men versus females.
Uh, Dr. Gamboa has been with us for almost 3 years now, and she's on the last Wednesday of every month at 4:25 Central Standard Time. Dr. Gamboa, your show goes by so fast.
I know, right?
Congratulations with your huge fan club.
Thank you.
People adore you.
Thank you.
We're we're so lucky to have you. We'll see you again next month. Stay well, stay warm, and
You too.
tell Harold hello for us too.
I will. Thank you so much, Steve. I'll see you then.
Thank you, Dr. Gamboa. It's Dr. Daniela Gamboa. She's with us the last Wednesday of each month at 4:25 Central Time. Hey, that's it for us today. We'll be back again with you next week with more Ask the Experts.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.